All right. So India's population is over 1 billion people with many cultures and traditions. Many different societies have contributed to India's rich heritage. Yet most of these cultural traditions originate from scriptures and texts of India that are thousands of years old. One of the very first civilizations on the earth, as we classify civilizations, which you'll learn more about the classification of civilizations when you get into 7th, 8th grade, but we classify them based on 5 pillars, which those 5 pillars means that they must have organized government, they must have organized religion, they must have a writing system, they must have culture, which art, music, and they must have a social structure, which means like a leader down into other roles. So, for example, in America, our social structure is kind of weird. We've got 2 different types of social structure. We have our government social structure, and then we have our society social structure. Our government social structure, of course, would be like the president, then the vice president, then the legislature, which would be senators and house leaders, and the judicial under that. And then you have the similar systems in states with the governor and then the lieutenant governor and then the house and legislature of the state. And then our social structure for common people would be like upper class, middle class, lower class. So one of the very first civilizations, which was the Harappa civilization, was in India along the Indus River. Indian cuisine is popular all around the world. It uses many spices and herbs along with the staple foods of rice, wheat, and lentils. Lentils are a type of bean. One of the best Indian foods that I really like is panak paneer, and it's really good. I think I will probably order some for us at some point. Panak paneer. People in the southern part of India eat mainly vegetarian food, while the central and northern parts of India are mostly non-vegetarian. There are hundreds of dialects and languages spoken in India. Hindi and English are the official languages, but there are 22 other languages that are recognized and spoken pretty frequently by other people, and that doesn't include dialect. So what a language is full words. So we speak English, or we're speaking English in this class. I can speak a little bit of French. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? And I can speak a little bit of Spanish. Maybe. I have to. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Okay. But dialect is like the spin you put on words and the almost accent. It's not just accent. Dialect also has to do, some words are changed. Some words we have different words for. So like an example would be lightning bug or firefly. Those both mean the same type of bug in the United States, but the southern states say lightning bug, whereas the most of the rest of the country tends to say firefly. So things like that are what impacts a dialect. In the United States, for example, we have the Southern dialect. We also have a Midwestern dialect. We also have a Bronx, New York dialect, and a Chicago dialect, and a California Valley Girl dialect. So there's a bunch of different dialects in the United States itself. Dialects doesn't mean that we're speaking a different language. It just means some words are different, and how we say them might be a little different as well. In England, they have like the proper English dialect, and then they have the Cockney, which is the more poor people dialect. So every country has different dialects, even if they don't have a lot of different languages. In India, You may know that the cow is holy. We talked about that, the fact that the cow is sacred. It is a grave sin to kill a cow or eat its meat in India. That is because the main religion in India is Hinduism, and cows are sacred to them. Cows just walk around the streets, and you're not supposed to hurt it. Another popular custom is greeting each other with the namaste. And namaste is a way of saying, I bow to you, may our minds meet. So generally you put your hands in front of your chest and you bow when you say namaste.
Don't they do that in yoga?
They do. So remember, I think we talked about this when we talked about interesting facts about India, but yoga was actually created in India. So namaste is generally the way they start class and the way they end class with yoga classes. And it's just, again, just a, like, let us be in the present, let us be one with each other. India has a custom of caring for the extended family. So a lot of times in India, generations of families will all live in one house. You might get married and then still stay in your parents' house. That's a frequent thing that happens. They also still have arranged marriages in India.
So like you're born and they already know who you're gonna marry.
Or you are born and then they decide who you're going to marry, or they barter with other families to reach a mutually beneficial agreement. So like, let's say you have a child and this other family has a child, and you have a girl and they have a boy, and your family wants something from their family, like some of the land, and they want something from your family, like a specific crop. And so y'all will discuss and then be like, okay, when these two get older, they'll marry, and we will do this exchange of goods with their marriage.
What if they don't want to get married?
Well, that's generally frowned upon in strict Indian households. There are some more modern Indian households that will accept. So if you were betrothed to somebody and you were like, hey, I don't really like them and I'm falling in love with this other person, some of them will be like, okay, that's fine, we will dissolve the arranged marriage. They were turning away from arranged marriages until recently, and they started going back to them, and that was actually, they're going back to them based on people's preference to go back to them. So it is a lot easier if your family and another family have made your match for you. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of relationships. Not saying that that's how it should be, but it is easier. I can see the benefit. And a lot of Indian people that are my age or a little bit younger, like in their 20s, are seeing the benefit of these arranged marriages because they're having a hard time finding a spouse on their own. And so they've gone to their parents and said, hey, like, you didn't set up an arranged marriage, but I'd like you to form one so I don't have to do the work, basically. So they're looking at marriage as a partnership, less than love, like not as much about love, but as about, hey, we can have I trust my family to set up something that will be beneficial for me so that I can have a good husband that has like a stable job and can provide for me and any children I might have, and they place that above love. If you're wanting the pancake game, it's out in the van.
No, he's wanting the
Fidgets?
fidgets.
Okay. We still have arranged marriages somewhat in, not in some,
Aiden's here.
not so much in America, but in like England with the royal families, and throughout history around the world, royal families have frequently had arranged marriages. It was a way to keep power within a family branch and not give it off to other people.
I saw the person in the car. It wasn't him.
those arranged marriages are frequently within the same family, which we now know is not such a good thing. In India, they're not within the same family. It's not cousins marrying cousins, but in royal families it was cousins marrying cousins to keep power within themselves. But that leads to birth defects because you're not supposed to cross over genetics like that. In India, well, it's not like it's your first cousin. It's like, and you didn't grow up knowing them. So like it happens with people that accidentally today. Like, so you, for example, you have a family member that has children that they don't know about, or you don't know this family member and they have children, and then y'all meet and y'all fall in love and then find out later, oh wait, we're related. That's actually part of the reason why a blood test is required to get married, is to make sure you're not somehow related. Lots of times people find each other and they start dating and then they're related, and it's all accidental. Like they had no idea. So, and if you haven't been raised with them, and if they are like third or fourth cousin twice removed, it's not that big a deal. It's only a big deal if your genetics are close. So like if y'all share like if your mom and their mom are sisters, then it's a problem. But if like your mom and their dad are related through marriage, it wouldn't matter. Or your mom and their dad are half cousins, so like one parent had two children and they both went different ways, it wouldn't matter as much either. But still, better safe than sorry, because genetics and genetic birth defects are a problem. Another thing that's very big in India is respect. Of course, respecting elders. Elder respect is a big thing in India because they've lived a long life, so you just respect that they know more than you and that they know the best path forward for your life and your family's life, and they're the ones that should make decisions regarding the family. And then, of course, we talked about respecting cows. In the marriage front, I mentioned it before, but it doesn't hurt mentioning it again. The brides wear red instead of white. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. A lot of Indian food is very spicy. I don't think I mentioned that earlier.
You know, some Indian mothers, when their baby's fresh out of the womb, they feed their babies spices with their milk.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with me,
Her back hurts a lot.
I also mentioned Bollywood, which is like a second Hollywood over in India. I may play a little bit of Bollywood for you at some point. The movies. It's movies. A lot of the movies include a lot of dancing and a lot of singing. So it's like Hollywood and what is that other Broadway had a baby.